Hello, friends. So today I want to talk about the fabric for this dress. So I'm going to be using a cotton lawn that is pretty thin, but not transparent. I wanted to keep it very lightweight for summer because obviously this is Southern California. It is yikes in the summertime. So I have already acquired that to go in place of Etamine. Etamine is a lightweight open weave fabric woven with hard spun coarse yarns. Many different fibers are used and the fabric is made in a wide range of qualities. So I have actually found 3 different kinds of Etamine online. I have found cotton, silk, and wool. While that is great, it is very expensive. We're talking like $30 to $40 a yard. And that's the cotton. So what I am going to do is use the cotton lawn that is like 27 something for 5 yards. So I've gotten 2 5-yard cuts of that. And it's wonderful. I love it. It's soft, it's lightweight without being transparent or translucent. It does have a little bit of see-throughiness, but not enough to warrant not using it for this. As far as I know, Etamine is actually a lot more transparent. And I didn't want to have to make a corset cover to hide it. I mean, I probably will anyway, just to protect the dress from the corset, which I am also making a new corset. It's already cut, it's already in the process of being made, but my eyes suck. So it's really hard to stay on course for the boning channels. I'm also making a new pair of combinations because I have lost a lot of weight in the last year, and my corset, my old corset, just doesn't fit anymore. It meets in the back and it's not supposed to. It is actually very uncomfortable if it meets in the back. Yeah, not good. So I have 10 yards of the cotton lawn. I was actually hoping to get at least the skirt cut last night, but 5 yards wasn't enough for the skirt. This dress is supposed to use 7 yards. So I think I'm going to have to cut the side and back pieces from one cut, which they're big, giant pieces. And the side and back upper piece is just kind of a trapezoidal shape. And then the bottom piece is actually a curved piece that comes up like this. So this piece would be on grain, but this piece would be on the cross grain, or this end. So it's interesting. I was hoping to be able to cut the one long front piece that goes all the way from top to bottom in the empty spot from the J-shaped piece, for lack of a better word. But yeah, the space there isn't wide enough. So I've gone through and I've cut out the pieces for at least the lining so that I can sew that together and have a working mock-up. Because I am planning on whatever changes I make to that, it's still going to be the lining. Because the outer part is a little more fluid, if you will. Because the outer part has a whole bunch of gathers in here. And so that means that it's basically cut almost in just a straight up and down piece and going by the bust measurements, and then it gets gathered in at the waist, which makes it a lot easier to play around with. So that outer piece, even the outer sleeve piece, which is only for the upper sleeve, because there is a separate lining piece for the upper sleeve, because the lining in the outer for the undersleeve can be the same because there's no additional shenanigans going on there. But with the lace insertion on the upper sleeve, it's, yeah, it becomes a different beast entirely. So, yes, I have 10 yards of cotton lawn for that. And then I do have the silk georgette. It's nice and thin, and it does have texture, but a texture that gives it visual interest. I don't know how it's going to be right against the neck. We'll find out. I'll just test it out. And it's right over there. I can see it. I don't feel like moving. For the, I've also decided to use the georgette at the wrists because the lace that I'm using is a nylon lace, which it's a plastic and I don't really want it right next to my skin. Oh, and by the way, I did find more yardage of that lace from a previous project. So I am taking that apart to use it just in case I need all of it. And I'm going to guess I will need all of it. Because while I am going to use this one on the reveres, I also want to use little insertion pieces of the other on top of the taffeta as well. Now that I'm thinking about it, the reveres aren't so big. They are not as big as what's drawn here. Wow, it's still trying to focus on me. Okay, there we go. They're not that big. So what I'm planning on doing is have the insertions kind of going down the taffeta, and then having this one hanging off the edge, slightly gathered to give it that really sumptuous look that it has here. And so I do also have a yard of taffeta. And yeah, I guess now 20 yards of lace, with the addition of this. And so the georgette is very, very slinky. So I do have some nylon netting on hand, just to use in the bow, I think, because I really do love the bow that comes out. Otherwise, if I don't use that in the bow, it won't have that volume. It'll just kind of flop. But I'm almost thinking I'd like to make one of each, so one with the netting and one without, that I can just tack in there when I wear it, depending on how I'm feeling that day, if I want the volume or the flop, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I think that goes over all of the materials. Wrong. As you can see here, I forgot to talk about the taffeta. And here it is. I'm trying to show how crisp it is. It is nice and crispy, for lack of a better word. I am really looking forward to using this one, and I have no idea why I completely forgot to talk about it. Aside from, of course, things like boning and thread, which I have several different kinds of thread. I've got cotton thread, I've got silk thread, I even have polyester thread, but I will be using mostly cotton for this because it's what I use most of the time. I usually only use silk for hand stitching type stuff, beadwork, all of that kind of thing. And good golly, it is so tempting to do some beadwork on this. I do have some plain black seed beads, so it may be an option. But yeah, I'm planning on, for the taffeta ribbon behind the insertions, I'm planning on cutting maybe about 1.5 inch widths just out of the full 54-inch width of fabric, especially for things like on the skirt. And it should, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would take 4 lengths. 1, 2, 3. I would take at least 3 lengths. I'm guessing the bottom one might take around 1.5 lengths. Oop. And my recording stopped. Let me see if... Oh, the card is full. And we're back. So what was I talking about before my camera so rudely interrupted? Was it all the additional things? Yeah. So there's the boning, there's the hooks and eyes and bars, thread. I may do some of the bars with whatchamacallit, silk thread. Why does the camera look like it's cutting off weirdly? I don't know. Oh well. I'm gonna have to play around with my settings, I think. But yeah. So yeah, I do want to say that none of this would be possible without the help of my patrons on Patreon, which there are 3 paid members, but it is with their help that I was able to get this fabric. I did get it over a very long period of time. I want to say over the last 6 months. And yeah, if you would like to join the Patreon, the link is down below. It's $5 a month. I try to make additional videos to put over there, because the reality is I don't make money from this. Clearly, there aren't enough subscribers, so if you want to do that, you can too. Go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe anyway if you want to keep seeing this series because I am going to take it all the way through to making the gown. But yeah, hopefully by the end of next week I will have the skirt made. I don't think that will take a terribly long time to put together. The things that will take the longest are like the insertion and probably the hem. But the rest of it, I mean, it's just gonna zip right together. So, yeah. Yeah. Consider subscribing if you'd like to keep up with this. Consider joining the Patreon or the what do they call it? Ko-fi, coffee, whatever. I have both. I'll link them both below if I remember. But yeah, I like to make things, and I make very little money. So, yeah, just if you can't afford it, don't. This is all I'm gonna say. Don't. I don't want to bring your debt upon you. But yeah. Anyway, I hope that you enjoy videos like this. I have to assume that you do if you watched it. But yes, hopefully the skirt video will be going up next Friday. Fingers crossed. If not, I'll try to do something else. Anyway, on that note, until next time, friends.